Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar, Introducing the Municipal Measurements Program to Nebraska. This is Heather Creven, Deputy Director of the Nebraska Recycling Council. The Nebraska Recycling Council's mission is to maximize the economic and environmental benefits of resource recovery in Nebraska and waste nothing. NRC administers the small recycling equipment grants for the Department of Nebraska Environmental Trust and also receives grant funding from the Nebraska Department of Environmental Quality. For more information, please visit our website at www.nrcne.org. In the webinar today, you will learn about the Municipal Measurement Program, MMP, launched in January of 2019 with the goal of harmonizing the measurement of material management programs and providing municipalities with decision-making tools that can improve recycling program performance. This free program assessment and planning tool provides participating municipalities with access to powerful analytic reports designed to measure waste diversion performance and improve programs. Municipalities face a variety of challenges when it comes to reducing the amount of waste their communities produce. Program managers have limited time and budget, which makes it difficult to properly measure the progress they are making towards achieving their diversion goals. Tracking challenges as well. Without efficient access to reliable program performance reports, municipality staff can struggle to identify the best course of action to improve recycling. Our presenter today is Josh Reed, who is the Municipal Services Manager at Emerge Knowledge, the developers of ReTrack Connect. He leads the development, implementation, and management of all services designed for municipalities, including the MMP program. During the webinar, you can raise your hand or you can type your questions in the chat box as they come to mind. You will be unmuted and able to ask your questions if you raise your hand at the end of the presentation. A recording of this presentation will be available following the webinar on our website under the Resources tab at www.nrcne.org. Thank you again for attending, and with that, I will turn the presentation over to Josh. There will be a slight delay before he begins.
Thank you, Heather, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the webinar today. I'm here to talk to you about the Municipal Measurement Program and its many benefits, and then I also want to talk to you a little bit about how you can join that program. So my name is Josh Reed. As you heard, I am the Municipal Services Manager at ReTrack Connect. And I'm going to try to keep this presentation to about 30 minutes and leave about 10 minutes for questions. So please stick with us to the end. I'll start by taking a couple minutes to describe what the Municipal Measurement Program is all about, including the project's vision, how to join, completing the surveys, the importance of data verification, and of course, generating the analytical reports. From there, I'll spend a bit of time talking about what's next for the MMP, and taking some time at the end, of course, for those questions. So let's just jump in. The Municipal Measurement Program, which I will now refer to as the MMP going forward. It is a free program assessment and planning tool that is brought to you by the Recycling Partnership and ReTrack Connect. The program is designed specifically for municipalities to deliver insights and actionable recommendations to municipal waste management agencies. If you haven't already heard about ReTrack Connect, it is a web-based software system that offers a suite of services to help organizations efficiently collect, manage, and analyze all types of recycling and waste data from all types of reporting entities. ReTrack has thousands of municipalities already using the system to manage and report program information. The Recycling Partnership is a national nonprofit organization, and it's a force for improving recycling across the United States. They provide grants, technical assistance, and tools to invest in communities, support measurable sustainability, and improve recycling systems across the nation. So ReTrack and the Recycling Partnership, we both recognize that the municipalities needed better measurement and decision-making tools, and that each organization is uniquely positioned to bring the MMP to life. So it made great sense for us to work together, and we're really excited to promote and manage and enhance the MMP over time. So this is year one. We're very excited with how far we've come so far. We only look forward to the future with the new features we'll be adding, new reports, new tools and resources to improve recycling across the nation. So let's get into how this works. The first step, municipalities will apply to join the MMP. The application is very straightforward. Once they're approved, the municipality will complete the program assessment surveys, and I'll talk more about that in a few minutes. And once those surveys have been completed, it will unlock a suite of powerful analytical reports that helps municipalities measure the program performance, benchmark their results, and learn more about ways to improve their overall performance. The MMP's vision from the very beginning was to find a way to meet the needs of the industry. So the industry was looking for a standardized system of measuring municipal program performance. And so one of the goals of creating the MMP was to create the first large-scale database of municipal materials management program information in North America. Another important goal for us was to provide municipalities with decision-making tools that they need to consistently measure program performance so that they can discover opportunities to improve their programs. And then finally, ReTrack and the Recycling Partnership also wanted to provide municipalities with tools and resources they needed to transform their overall existing recycling systems. The MMP is designed to collect standardized data and measure key performance indicators to continuously optimize recycling systems. So let's get right to what's in it for you. Participation is easy and free. Participation takes usually no more than 30 minutes. And since it's free, it's a pretty easy decision to make. The surveys are standardized to support consistent measurement of municipal program performance. You'll gain access to the powerful analytics I mentioned, and I will review some of those reports a little later on. You'll be able to benchmark your performance against national averages and eventually against your peers. You'll discover tools and resources designed to improve your municipal program performance, and then you'll be able to participate year over year to monitor your progress over time. To date, we have over 100 municipalities already participating across the United States. We launched the program back in January of this year, and if you take a look at this map, you'll see quite a few states covered here, over 30. I think we're at 31 states now represented. So there's at least one member in each of those green states that are already reporting to the MMP. So joining is pretty straightforward. We have an application process. All municipalities in the United States and Canada are eligible. And the application form only takes a few minutes to complete. And the reason that we implemented an application process was to ensure that only one municipality can join the program. So we'll have one representative for each municipality, so we don't have to sort of work around double counting. It also ensures that the representative who is joining the program is authorized by the municipality to participate in the program and provide data on behalf of that municipality. And this is overall just to protect the integrity of the MMP database. So at the end of the day, we know that the data that's in there is controlled via this application form, one-to-one data. So our applications are reviewed daily. Our business days are Monday to Friday, and they're processed within 1 to 2 business days. More often than not, you'll find that your application has been processed within hours of submission. And once processed, you'll receive an email with some instructions to access your new account. Once you have access to your account, you will see the MMP on your homepage. You'll access that, and you'll be able to complete the program assessment surveys. So the surveys are designed to streamline your reporting experience. We built them in a way that you would only see information that was relevant to you. So depending on how you respond to certain questions, additional questions or sections or even other surveys may become available to you. And the questions that don't apply to your municipality will remain hidden. So every municipality will fill out the About Your Municipality survey, sort of the starting point. It collects general demographic information about your municipality and high-level information about the types of waste and recycling programs available to residents in your municipality. And so based on that, you may unlock 1 or 2 more surveys. And as I said earlier, it takes on average about 30 minutes to complete all 3 of these surveys. So in this first About Your Municipality survey, there are 2 very key questions. And these will determine whether or not you display or unlock those other surveys. So if you answer yes to these questions, you'll unlock the new surveys and that will collect more information about the programs that you're operating. So the curbside program assessment, so should you have answered yes, we operate a curbside program, this survey will be unlocked and it is comprised of 6 sections in total. And it's all intended to summarize your waste and recycling programs in your municipality. So the first page will really ask you about the curbside collection, general information about the curbside collection in your municipality. Page 2 collects information about MSW. And for page 3, we have single family curbside collection. Page 4 is dedicated to multifamily collection. 5 is dedicated to organics collection. And finally, page 6 collects the information about the person who's actually completing the survey. The curbside program assessment has a number of questions you'll need to answer as well. These are very important when it comes to your reports. So one of those questions is, how do you define single family units for the purposes of curbside collection? And the other one will be, what is the total number of single family households in your municipality? And then finally, annual tonnage for each of your programs. So answering these questions will ensure that the reports that you'll be unlocking will be of greatest value to you, because many of the metrics found in those analytics will be reliant on these questions and answering these questions correctly. It'll also be very important for the benchmarking reports, which you'll be unlocking. If you had identified in the About Your Municipality survey that you do operate a drop-off program, you will unlock the drop-off program assessment survey. And this one will ask you all kinds of questions about the drop-offs that the municipality is operating. It's only 1 page, it's pretty straightforward. It asks total number of drop-off sites that are operated by the municipality, and the important thing here is that the number should not include private drop-off locations operated by supermarkets or thrift stores or anything like that. These are just drop-off sites that are operated by the municipality. You'll also be asked to provide the municipality's annual tonnage of MSW, residential recyclables, and organics collected via the drop-off program. And by doing that, you're providing accurate data will help with these reports. So there are a series of reports that will be linked to the data that is found in this report, in this survey. Sorry, I got ahead of myself here. The data verification of the MMP. Data verification is very, very critical to the success of the program. It will ensure that the data submitted to the program is reviewed by a third party before it's accepted into the overall MMP database. So fortunately, this critically important role has been filled by the Recycling Partnership. They will review every survey that comes through, and once it's deemed accurate, they will mark it as verified and it will be accepted into the greater database. Upon completing all of your surveys, you'll unlock your 7 reports. So they're shown here, and I will go through them one by one just to show you screenshots so you can sort of see the types of charts and graphs that you'll be able to generate. So it's as simple as clicking the generate button on your analytics. Let's look at the tonnage by program report to start. So the tonnage by program report will measure the total tons captured by your municipality's residential curbside and drop-off collection programs. You'll also gain access to the annual curbside diversion rate report, which displays your municipality's diversion rate alongside the total tons diverted and the total tons disposed for your curbside programs. And so in case you're curious, diversion under this report is calculated as single-family recycling tons plus multifamily tons and organics over MSW plus single-family plus multifamily and organics tons. The annual drop-off diversion rate report works much the same as the curbside diversion rate report, except it calculates diversion as total tons of recycling plus total tons organic divided by all the drop-off tonnage, including solid waste. The pounds per household report, click the generate button for this one. Diversion and disposal weights are normalized, measuring the average pounds of materials recycled, composted, and disposed by each household in your municipality. So this metric will be very useful when we get to the benchmark report as well. We do have a benchmark report that compares the total pounds per household to the national average. Speaking of which, so if you've ever wondered how your municipality's recycling performance compares to the rest of the country, you can generate the report to compare the average pounds of recycling generated by each single family household in your municipality to the national average. This is one of the more exciting reports. The Economic Benefits of Recycling report is based on the US EPA's Recycling Economic Information Report, or REI for short. The EPA created the REI report to increase the understanding of the economic implications of material reuse and recycling. So by recovering valuable materials, recycling creates jobs, builds infrastructure, and it contributes to the US economy. So generating this report, you can see how your municipality's recycling efforts translate into job creation, estimated wages, and tax revenues. And with this report, we implemented a new style to summarize this information in a more exciting way. It's much the same as this next report, which I will show you. One of the most exciting features that we built into the MMP is the Program Recommendations Report. It analyzes the data submitted in those program assessment surveys that we reviewed, and based on those responses, it presents a set of program recommendations that are tailored specifically to the municipality. So the recommendations report introduces municipalities to a suite of effective tools and resources that have been developed by the Recycling Partnership. And what we're looking at here right now is linking to a contamination kit to help reduce contamination in your municipality. So now that we've covered what's available to MMP participants today, I want to take a few minutes just to talk about the new features that will be coming to the MMP early next year. So we already covered the 7 reports just now that are already included in the MMP, but there will be some new reports that will be coming to the program, and that number will only grow. So as more and more data is added to the program, ReTrack and the Recycling Partnership will be able to design even more program performance and benchmarking reports. We intend to introduce a trend report to the program to allow you to see how your performance changes over time. We want to implement an environmental report to measure GHG emissions, and a region-specific benchmarking report so that you can compare your municipal program performance to that of your peers. And that's why it's going to be really important for municipalities to report each year. So participate year over year so that you can actually generate those trending reports and build up a nice solid amount of data that you can use year over year to see how well you're doing. And then in some locations, curbside and drop-off programs are actually provided to municipalities by regional government agencies like a county, consolidated government, or council of governments. And so we recognize that there are many nuances to consider when it comes to measuring municipal programs, especially when it's provided by a regional government agency. And so that's why we wanted to highlight just the fact that the MMP team is working towards accommodating county and regional government participation for 2020. And if your municipal collection services are provided by a regional government, even if it's only in part, and you'd like to help us develop that solution, please email mmp@retrack.com, or you can apply for the MMP as a county agency, and we'll just add you to the list of beta users so that we can discuss exactly how municipal programs are delivered in your region. Feedback is always welcome. It's what helped us get here to the current version of the Municipal Measurement Program. We started way back last year. We created a beta version of the program, and we worked on it throughout the fall of 2018 and collected a whole bunch of feedback from those early adopters. And based on that feedback, we were able to release the official version of the MMP at the very beginning of this year. So thanks to the useful input, we found a better way to organize the questions that streamlined data entry. We were also able to introduce some hover over hints to terms that could help with further defining them and helping folks understand how to answer the questions. And so even through this year and next year, it'll be an ongoing exercise for us to encourage feedback. We want to know what you love about the MMP, describing any challenges that you encounter along the way, and letting us know what features and reports are most valuable to you so that we can make sure that this tool is as valuable as possible to everyone who participates in it. So we've covered the upcoming features, and there are more, and you'll probably hear more about that if you get our emails. And we will have more reports and more tools and resources added to that recommendations feature. But in this last 10 to 15 minutes, I just want to talk about recapping some of the items that we covered and talk to you about why you should join the MMP right away. So first reason would be that participation is easy and free. It takes 30 minutes or less to complete the surveys. Once you have the assembled information, we have set up a blog post, a guide to participate in the MMP so that you can start gathering the data early before you apply. We have the powerful analytics that I covered, so 7 reports that I had demonstrated from program performance, benchmarking, and recommendations reports that provides the insights that you'll need to consistently measure your performance and continuously improve those programs over time. As the MMP grows, we anticipate introducing additional reports, as I had said. Another great reason is that you know that this program is standardized. It was designed with industry assistance to standardize the terminology and harmonize those methodologies in support of consistent measurement across the US and Canada. So whether you're from Portland, Oregon, or Des Moines, Iowa, municipalities will know that the key performance metrics are comparable across the nation. The program recommendations report provides municipalities with opportunities to make changes to existing municipal programs or add new ones to their toolkit. And over time, as I said, we were going to keep adding more tools and resources as they become available. And now we've moved on to the FAQ. So I wanted to get out ahead of a few questions before we open it up to all the attendees today. So a very important question that you may be asking right away is, how will the data that I submit be used? Your participation in the MMP directly benefits your municipality, but it will also benefit your peers, other municipal agencies, state, county, and regional government agencies, including industry organizations and many other organizations that have an interest in improving waste and recycling in the US and Canada. The data you submit actually contributes to the development of a large-scale centralized pool of data that makes consistent measurement of municipal program performance possible. Your contribution to the MMP database makes it possible for you and other municipalities to compare performance against regional benchmarks and national averages. It also helps industry stakeholders understand current municipal waste management challenges so that new tools and resources can be designed and to boost waste diversion performance. And we do recognize that some organizations may be sensitive about sharing specific types of data with other organizations. We're currently developing an MMP data transparency page that will help answer some of those questions and help them understand exactly how the data will be used. So for example, municipality-specific tonnage information or contact information will only be available to Emerge Knowledge, the Recycling Partnership, and state and county government agencies that sign up to use the MMP to manage the data in their geographic region. We have set up a training video as well. So as you begin to explore the MMP and complete those program assessment surveys, we have set up a video, and we will provide a link to that after the webinar, so that you can follow along and see exactly how to answer those questions, those key questions in the surveys. And we are now into question period, so hopefully we have collected some questions throughout.
We have. So, Josh, the first question that I have is that in the event that a municipality has an open, competitive, private collection system and the municipality does not collect accurate data from the local haulers, does the MMP allow each private hauler to enter in their data and allow it to be the total for the community as a whole?
No, the municipality will always have a representative who is authorized by the municipality to participate and complete those program assessment surveys. And so ideally, the municipality will have access to the data from those private haulers. That's the ideal situation, and they will be responsible for putting it into the surveys, ideally as an aggregate if it's shared among private haulers and any services provided by the municipality itself. But the responsibility would fall on the municipal representative to do that.
Another question I have is how the municipality can request info for regional efforts.
Is that question to have the opportunity to measure the regional performance, like a county?
That would be my assumption, yes.
Well, we will be introducing some solutions in the near future that will allow organizations to be able to purchase a subscription to access various levels of data. So that could be regional at a county level, it could be at the state level, or even national. And so that would be the ideal way for someone who's interested in seeing that data to access it. That said, as I was talking about, there's also region-specific benchmarking that we want to introduce to the MMP, which would allow a municipality to compare their performance against a municipality that shares similar characteristics, but maybe also if they wanted to see their performance in relation to the county, they would be able to do that.
My next question is, what are a couple of the best ways to reduce contamination at drop-off sites?
So the program recommendations report that I talked about, there are a couple recommendations that can be triggered based on how the municipality responds to some of the contamination questions in the surveys. And it will link directly to some tools that the Recycling Partnership has developed. They have both a anti-contamination kit for curbside, and they also have a drop-off specific anti-contamination kit that is a good starting point. Also consulting directly with the Recycling Partnership. I know they're always available to answer questions. So that would be my recommendation.
And then my next question is this program always going to be free, or will there be a charge for it at some point?
It will be free for municipalities. It was really important for us to make sure that this service was free for municipalities, because it's a very valuable data that helps to standardize measurement across the United States. And so it only works if that data is there. So it will remain free.
And then will municipalities be able to get information on other states? So say our surrounding states, will we be able to get those graphs and that information on those that are around us?
That again is some of the solutions that we will be introducing, where you can purchase a subscription to access data that is not your municipality's data, it's not your county. You'll be able to, if you want to go and have a look at California's overall municipal program performance, you'll be able to do that. But the closest thing otherwise will be once we introduce the closest free option will be once we introduce the benchmarking reports to allow them to compare themselves to municipalities that share similar characteristics.
And then another question is, can county or regional government agencies participate in the MMP?
So that is something that we are working on right now. We're in the research phase to attempt to understand all the different permutations of the way that municipal services are delivered. So in some cases, it may be a regional government that assumes responsibility for all services. In other cases, you might find that's shared between the municipality and a regional government. And then on top of that, there's the complexity of, in some cases, there are exclusions where some municipalities or regions will not be covered by that. So that's why we're doing this research project now, so we can get a good handle on it to come up with a solution for the 2020 reporting year. So
and then I have another question.
If anyone's interested in joining that, email mmp@retract.com. We'd be very happy to talk and learn about how those services are delivered in your region.
And then what is the cost of the state for getting aggregate reports?
So for state and county or other regional governments, they'll be able to purchase the Government Data Management Plan, which is a solution that we just introduced this month. For state government agencies, the price is $4,999 annually. Counties will be able to purchase access to their jurisdiction's data for $1,999 annually. And I do have there's a page up on our website that describes the various reports and benefits of that account type.
And I have another question, and that is, if I am already participating in other programs in Retract, how does that link to the MMP, or does it?
Right, so other programs are completely disconnected from the MMP. It will not be shared with any other programs, but I will also mention that if you already have a Retract Connect account, you don't need to create a new one to participate in the MMP. So upon application, we'll quickly take a look to see if that email address is associated with an existing Retract Connect account. And then if so, we'll just join you to the MMP program. So you'll be able to log in using your existing credentials.
And then my next question is, can tribal communities participate in this program as well?
Yes, Native American tribal governments are eligible to join.
Perfect. I am not showing any more questions.
Okay.
So
and it looks like
we have answered them all.
Looks like Chris has shared the application, the link to the MMP page where they can apply. Though I think that it was only sent to organizers, so I'm going to send it to everyone. Or if I can, maybe only you can do that, Heather.
Yeah, and I will make sure that when I send out the recording of the actual webinar, that the application, there's a link to that as well.
Okay, perfect. I'll also, yeah, that works great. I'll provide links to the video that I'd mentioned, so the training video, a link to the blog post that we wrote, a guide to participating in the MMP, and just this same link to take them to the program profile so they can see, cover everything that I just talked about on one page, and they'll be able to apply directly from that page as well.
Perfect. I appreciate your time, Josh, and Chris's as well. And I look forward to getting information about how Nebraska is doing based off of your MMP software.
Yes, thank you so much for the time. Thank you everyone for joining today. And if you do have questions, please feel free to email mmp@retract.com, and I'd be happy to answer those for you.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.